Do y'all remember when I said I hated the 24-70 as a lens and focal length? I mean, it's versatile, and as a photojournalist, you have to have it. I just didn't like the look. But now I'm gonna be eating those words because my favorite all-time lens is Canon's new 28-70. I didn't think this day would ever come, Carlo. In this video, I'm gonna tell you why. I'm also gonna help you to know how to use this lens. This is me eating my words, or just a napkin. What's up, my YouTube friends? In this video, we're talking all about the new 28-70. This lens is good. No, like seriously, it's good. It's so good that I'm retiring my 24-70. It goes over here, and you've served me well, kind of. I mean, I've taken most of my pictures on you, but honestly, I still despise you. It's not you, it's me. No, it's really you. Like, you just don't take, like, you're just not that interesting. I use you because you're easy to use and I have to. You understand? But it's not personal. So let's talk about the Canon 28-70 f2L RF lens. This is one of the first professional RF mount lenses to show us what the new mount system is capable of. What we're getting are lenses that have brought the glass far closer to the actual sensor. What this means is that we're gonna get better image quality. In addition, we're getting lenses like this where we get a variable lens range from wide to zoom at f2 versus f2.8 previously. So it's allowing things that physically were not possible or were just cost prohibitive before, and we're gonna see a whole new series of amazing glass. And that's what I'm really excited about. Now, I'm dead serious when I say it's good. In fact, over the last several portrait sessions where I would normally just shoot primarily on my primes, I've shot them almost exclusively on the 28-70. I'm gonna stop gushing about this lens eventually. In this video, what I do wanna show you are the reasons that I love this lens and give you some ideas on how to use it. And we're also gonna talk about some of the drawbacks because it does have some. So let's put this guy down. We're gonna jump into Lightroom and I'm gonna show you. And starting with number one, the wide aperture of f2 with a 9-blade aperture gives us silky, smooth bokeh that you'd previously only find on wide primes like the 24 and the 35. So let's take a look at this shot here, which was shot at 35 millimeters, and you can see the incredible background separation and depth that we get out of the camera. It's as close as we're gonna get to a prime with zoom functionality. It's awesome, okay? To put it bluntly, it's awesome. Now, if I zoom into this, you're also gonna see that at f2, we get insane amounts of detail. In fact, that's kind of my second note, which is the detail. I have another little series over here I wanna show you. So look at this. This is shot at f11. And just look at the detail that this is resolving on a 30 megapixel sensor. This is shot on the EOS R. Now, what this tells me, what this shows me, these new RF professional lenses are designed to resolve incredible amounts of detail. I'm talking 100 megapixel plus detail. That should be a foreshadow for all of us to recognize and realize what Canon's gonna be doing with these upcoming bodies, because the EOS R and obviously the EOS RP, they can't take advantage of this yet. So my guess is we're gonna be seeing some megapixel monsters. We're gonna be seeing cameras that can do some insane things coming from Canon, and we honestly need to because they need to catch up in the mirrorless game. But that's really exciting, and the detail here that we see out of these images is absolutely insane. The next thing is character, and what I mean by that is how the lens kind of renders a scene. I love lenses that have character in the contrast and color and vignetting and all those things that I can build into my portraits. This is one of the reasons that I disliked the 24-70 so much, was that I felt like it didn't have any of those things. I had to very much use every other component of compositional theory, including lighting and leading lines and framing and everything, to make images out of this look interesting because the lens itself didn't really help out on that side. The new 28-70, not so. It has very unique character and a look that is distinct and that you can build into your portraits, and I'm gonna show you a few of those. So a lot of these are from our Lighting 3 shoot, And you can see just how much detail it's resolving. You can see the overall color and contrast. Even in shots like this where we're not playing with depth of field here, I love the overall color, the contrast, the detail. We get beautiful characteristics coming out of it. We get amazing color. And we can even build in a really nice vignetting into these shots as well when you're shooting at wider apertures and you get that kind of nice prime depth with the lens vignetting kind of pulling your focus into your subjects, like the images that you saw earlier here. Now, along with that depth that we're getting at f2, we obviously are getting a lens that is far better in low light. We get an extra stop, and that might not sound like a ton to you, but that extra stop is a huge difference when it comes to low light situations. It's the difference between shooting 1600 ISO versus 3200 ISO, and it's gonna improve the quality of your images in low light situations. So we have a few examples of these here. And you can see that even at 1600 ISO, we get a very beautiful image with great color coming out of it. And again, these are shot on the EOS R in each of these scenes. Okay, so by now you're probably drooling over this just like I am. But here's the thing, there are drawbacks to this lens, like any good product. And number one is just the price. This is $3,000. And while you might be able to find it on sale from time to time when there are rebates, that's still a hefty price to pay. Specifically, when you add on an EOS R or whatever camera body, I mean, you're talking about a $5,000 to $6,000 camera setup with just this lens and a camera body that can do this lens justice. So that's significant, and you're gonna have to be okay with the price tag. Second, it doesn't have image stabilization in the lens. This is kind of a big deal to me because I'm paying $3,000, and like the 2470, this was also one of my biggest gripes because how incredible would this lens be for cinema and still if it also had image stabilization built in? And frankly, for $3,000, I kind of expect that it would be built in, but it's not. Which means that maybe there'll be a version of this that does have IS. I don't know, what's that gonna cost, like $4,000? It's kind of nuts to pay that much and to not get image stabilization in the lens. Drawback number 3 is that it's heavy. This guy weighs over 3 pounds, and when you combine this with the body, I mean, you're looking at kind of a 4.5 to 5 pound setup, which is not necessarily going to be light at all. If you have it in a purse or in a bag, you're gonna feel it. And so you're gonna wanna set this down everywhere you go because it does tend to get heavy. Specifically, if you're shooting weddings and long productions, yeah, you're gonna feel it in your shoulders. It's not a light and easy to port around camera setup. So just keep in mind that if you're eyeballing this lens and you're also looking at, oh, I love the EOS RP because it's so small and convenient to take around. Well, this is a terrible pairing for that camera because yes, it'll fit on the mount and it'll make you miserable carrying around 5 pounds. Well, 4.5. Okay, and drawback number 4. Honestly, if it had this one thing, for me, even without the image stabilization, it would be the perfect lens. I wish it could zoom out to 20 millimeters. If it was a 20 to 70, this would literally be probably the only lens I shoot on, with the exception of maybe the 7200 from time to time and like a 1 prime, like an 85 from time to time. I know that comes with like certain things. If this could zoom out to 20, the physical kind of limitations of that, I don't even know if it's possible. If it were possible, we'd probably see a lens diameter that's even larger than 95 millimeters. It'd probably be even heavier if it were even cost feasible from a cost perspective. Is that a thing? I don't know. But either way, I can see the limitations on the side. I'm just saying that there was plenty of situations so far when using the lens where I just wish I had a little more width in the frame. I wish I could shoot a little bit wider. I was pano stitching and doing things because what I really wanted was just a slightly wider lens. And yet I don't want to carry around a 16 to 35 just for those moments where I need that extra, 4 to 8 millimeters of width. So if you can swallow the price tag, you don't mind that it doesn't have IS, and you don't mind the weight either, what you have here is literally my favorite Canon lens of all time. In fact, we did another video recently that you guys can check out, which is the first 2 lenses that you must buy. It's the 2470 and the 7200, and in it, we talk about the statistics and how many images, out of 10,000 images, how many are shot on each of these lenses. This lens is gonna greatly skew those numbers as we go into this next year of shooting. So If there were one lens that I could shoot with and one lens that I had to buy and I couldn't use anything else, this would be it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give us a like. You guys can comment below on what gear you'd like to see us review next, your thoughts on this piece of gear, and as always, be sure to subscribe to the channel if you enjoy our content and turn on notifications so that you actually are told when we upload new content. You can also find all the links on the gear that we talked about in this video below, and you can see the final images in the article through the link. My name is Pi. See you guys in the next video.